Alright. Hey Double Dogs, this is Phobos. I wanted to give a quick rundown of TeamSpeak 3 and some of its functionalities and the ways that 666 uses it when playing PlanetSide and some of the other games that we support as well. I know a lot of people have been using Discord and in-game comms as their primary method of communication, and so this is just going to be a rundown of why we use TeamSpeak and some of the functions that we use on the regular, so that as you get acclimated to the outfit, you understand what's going on with this program. Like I said, there are a lot of basic things, but there's a lot of advanced things as well. So if you are one of those people who enjoy the advanced stuff, find some of our Double Dogs, or look up YouTube. There's you can add music bots, lots of fun stuff over Wolf and things like that. So if that interests you, go for it. This is just more of a video for those people who have never used TeamSpeak before and aren't familiar with how it works. So let's go ahead and hit up some of the basics right now. When you enter TeamSpeak, you will find yourself in the landing zone, and the landing zone basically is it's just that. It's a landing zone. By the time this video is published, we'll have a couple how-tos in this section over here, and we'll show you how to set key bindings and all that fun stuff. So if you haven't set up your TeamSpeak yet, it should be pretty easy to do. It's a very intuitive program, so it's you shouldn't have too much trouble doing that, although it can be a little tricky if you want to go into some of the different server groups. But you will have videos over here if that interests you, if you want to go into higher leadership roles, about how to set up our whisper lists and all that fun stuff. Some of the other basic things about TeamSpeak that should be known is that while TeamSpeak does have the ability to detect the strength of your voice, the sound of your voice, and auto transmit, we are a push-to-talk only server, and so it's basically walkie-talkie style. You have to find a button that you are going to bind. When you press that button, you will transmit whatever message you want to communicate, and then when you release the button, you will no longer transmit. I know some people don't like that. It's a hassle or whatever they have to say, but at the end of the day, with so many players and so many different environments, it's a way to keep comms from getting too cluttered. We don't want to hear what's going on in the background in your house, nor when something goes wrong, we don't want a sudden yelp to deafen us because that person's lagging or whatever. So we are push to talk, so you'll have to find a key to bind, and it'll become muscle memory soon enough, and it shouldn't bother you too much. So that is a mandatory thing. One of the other kind of forms of communication beyond the push to talk, which is the verbal communication, I'll go ahead and find someone down here, is there's two other ways to communicate with people. If you right click on someone's name, you can go poke client, and if you do that, you can type in a reason and you say hi. If that happens, what will happen on someone's desktop is they will actually get a new box pop up, and it'll make a noise to them. So this is the way to get someone's attention right now. It can be, if they're focused on something, it can be a little bit intrusive, so use poke sparingly, but it's a way to get someone's attention right now. The other way to communicate with them is to double click their name. If you double click your name, you'll see a tab open up down here, and you can just go ahead and type to them, and in their TeamSpeak, it'll open up a tab underneath with your message, and everything should be good. It doesn't open up a box, so it won't drop them out of game or anything like that, and so this is a less intrusive way to do it. It'll make a little chime in their ear so they know something came through, and then it basically is like texting at this point. You just keep typing, and you have a typing conversation rather than a verbal conversation. So those are two ways to get a hold of people if you're not in channel with them, and you don't really want to fully disturb them by jumping into their channel. Those are the two easiest ways to get in touch. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the channels real quick and let you see what's going on. I'm going to jump down to the command center, but then we'll talk a little bit about the others. The different channels, all these are different channels, and so when you enter a channel, you'll be able to talk to anyone that is in the channel with you. You won't be able to hear anyone else in any other channels unless you have special permissions set, which I'll show you some of those. But for the most part, you hop into a channel that matches your playstyle. And if you're wondering, well, which channel should I be in, the easiest way to do that is just click on the channel, and over here on the right hand side it will give you a short description of kind of the idea, the ethos, the spirit of that channel, and what you want to be doing. So if you want to hop in chill side, it says, do you want to play PlanetSide 2 but don't have enough people for a squad or feel like playing by yourself while chatting, this is a place for you. Keep in mind that we still like people to eventually filter down into the ops channels. Basically, chill side means if you just want to screw around and hang out with people and just kind of go shoot people in the face without doing anything coordinated, and you want to hang out with other members while you do it, you hang out in this channel. And so you'll see people just kind of randomly just doing stuff. There's no coordination or anything here. These channels right here are more for actual ops play, and we'll go ahead and talk about kind of the expectations later on those things. But if you take a look here, it will show you the different types of channels that you have. So this is the description of the hammer, air as well, and then we have armor. And so you just hop into those, and you get to play with whoever is in there. One thing I do want to say about these channels, because sometimes this can happen. If you look at Hammer 1-2, and you see up here where it says 0 out of 12, what that means is that there can only be 12 people in a channel. So if there are 12 people in this channel, every non-officer basically is locked out. Now, sometimes this happens simply because the channel fills up, people are enjoying themselves and having a good time, and other people can't come join. The thing to do at that point is to click the name of the senior person in that channel, poke them, and say, yo, I can't get in the channel, and then something will be worked out where people will start filtering into other channels as well. So just be aware that sometimes channels will be locked because they've become completely filled up. If you look at Hammer 1-1, it says 0 out of unlimited. We can literally put the entire outfit into this channel and have, you know, as many people as you want in here. But a lot of the channels do have limited numbers, and that's just to kind of cap it until we can make something a little more conducive to the number of people we have playing. Just a heads up, when you're in from anywhere command center down to squad 2, like I said, these are more of our ops channels, and people are expected to follow squad leaders, but we'll go over that a little later. So, like I said, pretty simple. Just double click. You can join any group that you want to at any time. There are no requirements other than you're following the squad leader in these channels. And so, yeah, hop in the channel and find someone to play with. Okay, what I'd like to talk about now is how we communicate in between squads and in between divisions. If you don't really have any interest in leadership, you can probably just go ahead and skip this part, as this is more about how we have preset whisper lists so that the different squads can communicate with each other about what they're doing and what the other squads are doing, and coordinate accordingly. So as I said before, each of these channels basically houses a single squad, and the people in it can talk to their squad members, but you can't hear anything else anyone else is doing. And so what we do is we have two sets of whisper lists that will allow communication in between squads so that you can actually talk to people outside your squad. Now, the way you do this is you have to do what's called setting a server group. And the way that happens is you right-click your name and you set server group. You can see that there are a ton of server groups to set. Don't worry about them. There's going to be basically two that I want to take a look at right now, and this squad leader and radio ops up here and here. So when you set it,
server group assigned,
you will see that you will hear it says server group assigned, and then you'll see that you are now set to the squad leader. This is a preset whisper list. You're going to have to find a key that you're going to bind to the squad leader chat. Once again, we'll have how-to videos on setting up the key bindings. But what this means is that anyone else in a family group that has the squad leader whisper list set up can hear you. In other words, when I activate my squad leader whisper group, anyone else in Hammer 1-1, 1-2, Stitch, RT, or base building that also has the squad leader assigned to them will be able to hear me in a whisper. This allows me to talk to the other squad leaders without jamming up comms to all the other players that are playing in those squads. It's a really useful tool for basically platoons to operate. So the platoon leader will talk to his squad leaders in this squad leader chat. The nice thing is you'll hear that basically it sounds like a psst sound, and you'll be keyed into that someone is trying to whisper you, and you'll hear your squad leader come over, and you can talk to your squad leader without jamming up the comms of your squad. So that basically works within the family group that you have right here. Now, similar to squad leader, and by the way, if you want to take the server group off, you just click it again and it goes away. Similar to squad leader, but a little more robust. It reaches anyone in the server. If you have the radio ops set, basically it's the same as squad leader, except it will transmit to anybody in the entire server that has radio ops on right now. Basically, if I set radio ops on Vex right now, and I have the ability to do that, if I click that right now, I could talk to Vex through the radio ops whisper. Now, the way radio ops differs, the reason that we have this set is that radio ops will allow the commander to talk to the entire division, whereas squad leader is basically limited to this little family group right here. Radio ops will allow you to talk to everybody at the same time. Here's the thing about radio ops and squad leader. If you have, you are more than welcome to turn them all on, and you will hear all of the chatter that's going on, but be forewarned, it's a lot. Usually in each of the squads there will be a designated radio operator, and that person should be the only person using these whisper lists. Now, that being said, lots of squad members like to have it on so that they can hear the orders and hear the chatter going on and have a better kind of strategic view of what's going on. But just understand that that's a lot of talking in an ear, and it can become overwhelming at times. But anyone's more than welcome to have it on, and in some squads it's highly recommended that they be listening in so that everyone's hearing the commands and orders coming down the pipe. But again, radio ops and squad leader should be used with the utmost care, as it creates a lot of clutter if people are chit-chatting on it too much. But these are the two ways that we communicate interdivisionally and in between squads. These whisper lists are automatically set up. You just have to set a key so that you can use them. Alright, two more things to go over, and that will be it for this basic TeamSpeak 3 rundown. If you are a streamer, or you have Shadowplay on, or you're going to be taking clips of what we're doing, that's great. We love that kind of stuff. We do have two tags that you can put on, so you can put streaming or recording,
Server group revoked.
Shadowplay if that's your
server group assigned.
That stuff. It basically just lets everyone else in the channel know that they are being recorded and whatnot. I have yet to meet someone who really has a problem with it, but it just allows them to make a decision whether they want to join or not. And it also tells people, be a little more, aware and conscious of conversation and stuff like that.
Server group revoked.
So that, anything that's recorded or streamed doesn't put us in a terrible light. It's not that we expect people to be angels or anything like that, but obviously conversations can get a little toxic sometimes, and we just don't want to be showing that out. So that is, if you are a streamer or a recorder, go ahead and just tag those on so that that people know in the channel that you're ready to go. And then last but not least, every once in a while you will see someone that has on this priority speaker. This priority speaker is used especially when we have massive groups of people. What it does is, if I key up, it will basically mute everyone else in the channel, so everyone has to listen to what I'm saying. Again, usually this is not used. We expect people to, when the leader says clear comms or shut the hell up, that's exactly what happens now. But sometimes when running drunk ops or just massive outfit events, whoever's leading it and everyone's in one channel will have on priority speaker. So if someone's keying up and everyone else gets muted, that's what's going on, is they have priority speaker. So just be aware of that. Again, people should not be using this very often, but it does happen every once in a while. So other than that,
server group revoked.
That's pretty much it. If you have any questions about TeamSpeak, feel free to ask. It's pretty much mandatory that if you are playing in our squads that you be in TeamSpeak. There should be no reason that you are not in TeamSpeak. Even if you don't want to talk, that's cool. You don't have to talk. You don't have to say anything you don't want to, but we do need you hearing the orders of your squad leaders or platoon leaders or command, and that's expected that you're in here. We don't use in-game comms, as you can imagine. If we're using TeamSpeak and in-game comms, it gets way too cluttered. So yeah, be in TeamSpeak when you want to play with us, and that's it's a great program, lots of fun stuff that you can do with it, and it's just have it running in the background, and yeah, come and beat the hell out of the Vanu and TR. By the way, you can also see down here, if you have ults that you'd like to play, feel free to be in TeamSpeak. And again, go ahead and explore the channels that we have down here. We have tons of channels for tons of different games, and you are welcome to all of these and all these different communities. Would love to have more players, and like I said, there's no requirements in 666, so go ahead and explore the different communities that we have via TeamSpeak. Go ahead and meet some people, and yeah, thanks for coming out, and hope this has helped.